So, kind of talking about the whole David Morrell thing. He recently came out and, he put out a post. I think it was like on his social media, something like that. Just kind of ripping your son, saying that, he's not the Mexican monster, he's not this, he's not that tough. I can beat him. He said that if he said that if David walked down the street in Cuba, he'll get his shoes taken. You know what I mean? So, what do you have to say about everything that David Morrell has been saying about your son, man?
Well, if David Morrell is watching me, I don't understand what the fuck he says when he tries to talk in English, when he has translators. I think he should fucking talk in Spanish because I'm just like trying to follow up and see what he says. Don't understand shit what he says. Um, we are the ones that want to fucking get that fight, man. We've been asking for that fight. I've been fucking talking to these people. I talked to his managers, everybody, to make it happen. There comes Ronnie Shields saying that he's not ready. He's not ready, you know. And that guy, he just talks a lot of shit, man, and keeps saying all this shit. Why don't you go and talk to your team and tell them you're ready? Let's make this shit happen, bro. To be honest, that's what we're here for. I give him a lot of respect, for being on the Cuban Olympics team, and he's really good, man. Don't get me wrong, he's a good fighter. He has a lot of experience in amateur and professional is different, you know. Um, I think he's getting better and better and better. Well, like in about a year or two, I think he's gonna get better and he's gonna be a really dangerous fighter. Why not kick his ass right now? You know, I think right now David will stop him. But
Mhm.
I think that guy just talks a lot of shit. He wants a lot of attention with the media, and that's what it is, bro. Let's make this fucking fight happen. Go talk to your team. Don't put that shit in social media and do all that shit. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, the managers are the ones that make that decision, not him.
Yeah.
So he might want to fight Mike Tyson and talk all that shit. But if you're not ready, you're not ready, bro. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's fucking make that fight happen. Does it make sense? So I think he's watching right now, and if he watches this, shut the fuck up, bro. Go to your team. Let's go, man. This fucking contract is signed already. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Let's make it fucking happen.
In your honest view, man, because it doesn't seem like the Canelo fight will happen next. Your son does have a good amount of options awaiting him. Do you think that the David Morrell fight will happen next? There's a lot of animosity. Like you said, he talks a lot of shit. He is a really good fighter. Do you really think that it will happen next, or are you a little bit iffy about it?
You know what? I'm ready if it happens now. Hopefully it can happen now.
Mhm.
But like I said, his team is holding him back, bro. Um, I'm just hoping that they let him go. Uh, I think he needs more experience. They know that he needs more experience. All the fighters are gonna say the same shit. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. We won't know until we make the fight happen. I got a lot of respect for him. Like I said, he's good. He's a really good fighter. He's done very well. He's getting better and better. I don't think he's at David's level right now. But we have a contract signed. Let's make it happen. I don't see him. I don't see him fighting David. Like maybe in a fight, maybe one or two more fights.
Gotcha. So if you don't see him fighting David next, and you guys did sign a contract. So if Morrell's not fighting, if Morrell probably won't be fighting David next, if Charlo is still at 160 or gets that Canelo fight, that kind of just leaves Demetrius Andrade. So what
Yeah.
do you kind of think about him? Do you think that he'll be actually a more difficult fight than a David Morrell? Because Andrade's been a two-weight champ and he has so much experience, man.
Yeah, you know what I think Bubu Andrade is a great fighter, man. He's a very slick fighter, a very dangerous fighter. He has more knowledge. Yeah, he's a little bit older, but he's very slick. To me, I see Bubu Andrade a little bit more dangerous fight, to be honest with you. He's been there, he's done that. And I believe so, that would be a tougher fight. But like I said here, man, I'm being very honest
Mhm.
and can say it if it's not true. father. I got in touch with him also. I have a lot of respect for that guy. He never talks shit, and I'm not going to talk shit about him, because he's very respectful all the time that I seen him. And but we did offer him the fight, to make it happen. And they said that at that time they were not interested because they were going through some things with the zone, I believe, or Matchroom or something like that.
Did you
But
did you
yeah,
did
that
you
that could be
guys
a possibility.
did you guys offer him the fight this year?
We've been offering. He's in the contract too. That's what I'm saying. So it's just a matter of getting. Let's make it happen. Let's. I just want to know that they want to fight.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? I just want to know who wants to fight, man. We need to fight October, November. We need to stay active, man. So it doesn't matter who it is. We just want to have a fight on that date. October, November. So whoever, we're here to test ourselves and see where we're at. Uh, you know, uh, that's what we need to do. We need to stay busy.
Gotcha. So I know David and Benavidez. I always have to say like his full name because you got David Benavidez and you got David Morrell. So I don't want to get it confused. But your son said that, and also another recent interview, he was just like, if the Morrell fight doesn't happen, or if he doesn't get his hands on Canelo or whatever, he's said a bunch of times like he's down to move up to 175. We recently spoke to Dimitri Bivol. And he said that his preference right now is to like get the rest of the belts at 175. But if David, your son moved up, he'd be like, yeah, let's make it happen. He's a great fighter, so let's make it happen. What do you?
Man, it's getting really hard. All these social media guys talk a lot of shit, man. About wanting to fight and doing this, but then when the time comes, they fucking disappear.
Mhm.
So we're just watching. Hey, who's next, man? Who wants to jump in for reals? But
Do
if
you?
not, like I said, we can fight at 175. I think Big Boy will be happy to fight at 175. Bet the Beer will be happy to fight at 175. I mean, we're just here. We're not frustrated. We're not. But if that happens, if I hear that Big Boy wants to fight, why not?
Well,
If Bet the Beer wants to fight, why not?
Well,
So
let me push back on that a little bit because you're saying that you're not frustrated, you're not angry, or nothing like
no,
that.
no, yeah,
Well, I'm okay. So
yeah.
let me ask you this because I'm not sure if I believe you. I'm
No,
not sure if
I mean you can believe whatever you want. I'm
well
telling you.
well well
No,
let
no.
me
The
ask
thing
you
is,
this.
let me tell you, we're
Mhm.
here. We're here. David's only 26 years old, so you can understand a little bit more.
Mhm.
He's 26 years old. I want to give a big shout out to Al Heyman. He pays him very well. He's one of the biggest guys that gets paid more besides Canelo. He gets paid very well. Thank you, Mr. Al Heyman, for doing that. We're not suffering for money. We just want to prove ourselves. But wherever, we could do 175, no problem. We could do 168, no problem. But that doesn't, like I said, hopefully you can understand that I'm not frustrated. You know,
No,
I
for
mean,
sure. The point that I was trying to get is, it's not about a money thing or anything like that. But what I wanted to say is, you guys have had the WBC interim title for so long, and when as David is pretty much the mandatory, and when Avni Yildirim was Canelo's mandatory, Canelo kind of like jumped in and fought him really quickly, and Canelo also fought John Ryder, who was his WBO mandatory, fairly quickly. So that's what I mean. Is there any like frustration, maybe from like the sanctioning bodies, like make?
no, no, at the end of the day, it's just a business. And like I said, everybody's running away from David. That makes me happy. We're doing something good. I'm
Yeah.
enjoying. I'm enjoying the ride, man. From not being nothing. I didn't know nothing about boxing. We don't come from a boxing family to be where we're at right now, and everybody's afraid of my son. Man, that's unbelievable. That makes me happy. That makes me feel that we're doing something good together. I don't know how long this is going to stay like this, but I'm enjoying this moment right now. And we'll fight anybody, to prove ourselves and to continue growing. But no, they make their own decisions and they'll do whatever. There's nothing I could do. You, you know, you know, there's nothing what I say, what I'll do. would not change anything with the organizations or who fights who, or Canelo chooses who or whatever. There's a reason for that. I believe that Canelo doesn't want to fight David because he feels that David's a dangerous fighter. Otherwise, he would face him. So at this point, he's trying to secure his wins.
Yeah.
But like I said, David's only 26 years old. We're going to continue training. I know good things are coming, so we just got to be patient.
Do you think that because you made a very you said something interesting when you just said that Canelo's just trying to secure his wins. So do you think that Canelo is like quote unquote taking the easy route with just I guess trying to fight Charlo after 2 years, Badu Jack, weight drain? Do you think he's like taking like an easier way out, man?
Well, you tell me something, or the people. He was offered one of his bigger paydays in history. We were trying to get the minimum just to make that fight happen because I know in the bigger picture, that fight, lose or win, we go to another level. But if we win, David becomes a superstar, right? So we're not focusing on the money, right? You tell me why didn't he want to take that fight with David? If David hasn't fought anybody, if David is not experienced enough, why not take that fight? I mean, it's so obvious. Okay, now he's trying to fight an old Budo Jack with all my respect, and they want to drain him, you, you know, and then he's trying to look for Charlo. That Charlo is not in conditions of fighting right now, in my beliefs. Who's he going to go after? Berlanga, that he just got kicked out of Top Rank. I mean, who? Fight David. But like I said, I'm not trying to push it.
Yeah, yeah,
The fight is not going to happen. I
yeah,
tell you right now, it's not going to happen. But I'm just saying.
yeah, yeah.
I
That's
mean,
yeah.
so I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And for the people that know about boxing, the best fight the best. To me, he's the pound for pound, the best at 168.
Mhm.
Why not face David? And we want to face the best. We'll fight anybody. At this point, I'm so sure that David will do well with anybody at this point right now. You know?
Yeah. Do you think that this year will be well, do you think this year will probably be your son's last year at 168 pounds, or is it kind of hard to say?
It's really hard to say because you've seen on his last fight, he was like 2, 3 pounds under, the weight limit. And
Yeah.
he's been doing that to show you guys that he has no problem doing 168, but he
Mhm.
has the height. And he's big enough to do 175. It's not much. We can go on the next fight 175, or we can stay at 168. Whatever there is. Whoever steps in and wants to fight, if there's somebody, an interesting fight, a dangerous fight at 175, we'll go to 175. If there's a fight at 168 that somebody wants to, all these guys that say that they want to fight, let's make it happen. I mean, I can't do 160. We can't do cruiserweight yet. So, but those two divisions, we can definitely make it happen. Like no problem.
Do you guys kind of are you guys planning on like paying close attention to a guy like Artur Beterbiev only from the standpoint of Mauricio Suleiman came out and said that he doesn't plan on sanctioning the fight between Beterbiev and Bivol for undisputed because of I guess the Russian nationalities and things like that. So are you guys kind of paying attention because he's fighting Cullum Smith
Yeah.
next? Are you paying attention to that and saying, okay, let's see how he looks, see how he does. Let's just jump up and get that fight and get 3 of those belts.
Yeah, you know what? To be honest with you, no, I really don't pay attention to that. We just stay continuing. Hopefully, the war will stop tomorrow. We don't know. So, we just got to stay ready, man. To be honest, I'm focusing on just keeping David focused, motivated, and keep going. He's super young, no stress, no nothing like that. But my job is to keep him that way and keep him working because something's coming. Something's coming.